What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me where I'm live. We enter week 2 of the Collector's Bounty event, and I want to give some additional or kind of random tips for this event. For example, the Mythic ENR fight is almost AFK soloable now. A little while back, I made a guide to help you complete the event easily, but apparently if you start the encounter but never leave that area where you started, like you just hang around here killing mobs, ENR herself can't die, even if she's getting bombarded with artillery or the big ship does its final attack, so just hang out here and defeat mobs until the encounter ends, and then loot. Fresh alts don't have the Dalaran Hearthstone activated, which helps a lot for traveling around, especially during this event. To get it working, head over to the Broken Isles through the Azuna portal in your capital city's portal room. Progress to Dalaran and talk to Khadgar at the Violet Citadel. He'll give a quest to unlock world quests that auto-completes, and the Hearthstone will now work. A lot of folks know about the upcoming Legion remix and are purposely avoiding farming Legion dungeons and raids, confident that they can just buy everything up with bronze later during that event. Now, I don't mean to scare anyone, but it would be irresponsible for me to tell you folks, oh yeah, of course, the Legion remix is guaranteed to have another bronze vendor that's going to sell all of these appearances they promised. They didn't promise a damn thing. In fact, having this Collector's Bounty event, it's kind of a reason for them to not let us buy these mounts and appearances up during the remix, or if they can, it'll all be remix like specific recolors, just like we had during the Mist of Pandaria remix. I'm just gonna say, if there's something you really want from Legion, you might want to consider making that part of your farming routine during this event, just in case. From observations and other reports, it seems like one of the better tactics for mass appearance farming is to follow the leader. Here's what I mean, and by the way, this applies best when you're farming a mythic dungeon or a raid with a weekly lockout. Let's say you want to clear Nighthold for the mount at the very end. You take one character, you go to Nighthold, you knock it out, and if the mount doesn't drop, then okay, you hearth back to wherever you were, you log out, and you switch to a different character. You do this until you get the mount, or you run out of characters, after which you go back to your first character, who has a fully refreshed Hearthstone most likely, and then move them to the next place with the weekly lockout. The idea is, between instance clearing and travel time, you run almost zero risk of hitting the instance lockout limit. You're also not wasting a lot of movement because you're just taking one appearance farm at a time, and if you happen to get it, you can immediately switch gears and then farm for something new. It might sound like common sense to some, but organizing your routine goes a long way towards making a farmathon like this not feel too overwhelming. Depending on your time available, you can also consider Raid Finder as a single destination for a while. That way your characters can take on every raid and a given expansion without additional travel time. This next set of tips is for the veterans who've at least unlocked and completed most of the raids in this game once. This plan is more or less based on what I plan on doing for the rest of this event outside of a few targeted farms, because there's a lot of gold to be had slamming raids and selling loot from these giant loot tables. So if collections aren't your thing but gold making is, here's what you could do to relax and slam some old content for some easy gold, and yeah, you'll get some cosmetics and mounts and whatever in the meantime. It's pretty accessible to do, you just need a level 80 character, and preferably as many as you can, and try to have at least a few dozen inventory slots available per character. Of course, the more the merrier. It'll also help to use add-ons to help manage your looting like Auto Looter and Vendor. I mentioned how to use those last week. The idea here is to slam the raids from Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands on Mythic difficulty, but of course farm up the other difficulties if you want to as well. These two expansions offer the best vendor prices for drops, because Legion did have artifact weapons, meaning there are no weapon drops to sell. Castle Nathria and Shadowlands does drop weapons, but they first come in the form of orbs, which you have to later convert into weapons at your local covenant. Fortunately, you can mail these off to an alt to unlock those appearances, or to of course sell for actual gold. Even if you don't have access to all these raids, the raw gold from Warlords and earlier raids isn't insignificant at all. Engineers can skin a few of the raid bosses in Ulduar for valuable materials that sell decently on the auction house. The big takeaway is, if you do decide to go down this route, you want to do this in a way that you turn your brain off and just attack these raids. Loot what you can, and leave the bind on pickup epics on the corpses, which will show up in your mailbox after you loot the instance, and then sell everything later. The gold will pile up real quick, and you'll be surprised how much you come away with just strolling down memory lane. And by the way, if we are going to get a stat squish in Midnight, count on vendor prices of gear to be altered again. Next time these items might not sell for nearly as much as they are now. So what else is happening this week? Turbulent Timeways continue, this time with Warlords of Draenor. No Time Walking raid this time, but you've already got plenty on your plate already. If you want easy hero gear though, just knock out the quest to clear 5 Time Walking dungeons. The Darkmoon Fair is also in town for additional reputation and experience boost, and the World Quest bonus is in play, even more rev for War Within Factions. This week marks the final week of Dastardly Duos. Whatever you happen to make out of it, it's your last chance to complete achievements and defeat the remaining bosses available. The Delve Belt can also be upgraded with 1 left to go. Be sure to knock that out on your main, and well, I'd say hold off on your alt when you can do all of their upgrades in one shot. Arathi Blizzard is the brawl, and over in Mythic Plus World, it's a Tyrannical Fortified week. Well, the Saladeath affix might be void bound. That's the disruptive one where you gotta kill the ad before it causes lots of trouble for you and the team. This week is bound to be full of excitement and disappointment as we continue farming our faces off for appearances, mounts, gold, and more. And as news drops, you can count on me to be one of the first ones yelling about it. Please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.